It's no hyperbole to say that driving in Phoenix can be hectic. I got kids in the room, but you know what I mean. But the struggle of traffic itself is only a small part of the larger issue at hand. Phoenix has an over-reliance on its highway system, which affects everyone in the city limits. Phoenix over-reliance on the highways has environmental risks, but also intensifies economic disparities in Phoenix. It's more than a problem that makes it a pain to get from work in the morning before your air conditioning goes on strike from working constant overtime to keep you from sweating in the Arizona sun. Having a car, specifically one with working air conditioning again, becomes a necessity due to Phoenix's urban sprawl, creating urban heat deserts which make it a requirement to have accessible transportation to freely move about the city. The highway system in Phoenix is vast already, but has continued to grow to this day, with expansions and accommodations being a constant issue in the public legislature. This begs the question, is Phoenix over-reliant on the highways, which is thus prompting the legislation of the city to seek to make highways as efficient to the point to where other aspects of the city are neglected. Think about it this way. The highway system is the apple of her parents' eye. She gets everything she wants. New costly extensions, just put it on Big Brother's debit card. But her more frugal sister, aka public transit, aka the light rail system, doesn't receive nearly the same amount of financial support as her sister, and most likely gets cropped out of the Christmas card each year. All jokes aside, Liberty, put up map 1. This illustrates the highway system in Phoenix. As you can see, anybody can get close to their desired destination by simply getting on the highway at one point and getting off on whenever they get there. And of course, that's the point. But the journey entails the overcrowded roads because everyone has to use the same method of transportation. But what if someone simply wants to go from Tempe for school back home to northern Scottsdale, but they don't have their car? Because that will require a second student loan just to purchase parking nowadays. Well, they have to Uber and have to navigate awkward conversation, thus contributing to overcrowded roads despite them not even having a car because the light rail system simply does not extend to where they need it to. Liberty, show map number 2. This shows the option for public transport in Phoenix. While all those colorful lines seem nice, most of them are only bus transport, which of course would greatly contribute again to the overcrowded roads in Phoenix. The light rail system, which is visible in pink, is the only viable option to reliably transport people from one area to the other without contributing to the overcrowding. It only covers a small section. Liberty, can you point out the pink line to him? Boom, okay. And it only goes from Glendale through Phoenix and Tempe before finally ending in Mesa. This lack of infrastructure to transport persons at a low cost creates a real trap for Phoenicians who require the light rail for their livelihood. Because there is so few options for them to travel to, they are essentially stuck, and a portion of the city that they are stuck in is recorded as the highest of Phoenix statistically. Liberty, show them map 3. As you can see, the areas in red are indicating they recorded critically high temperatures is right where the light rail system and the majority of the highway system is in Phoenix. Now, Liberty, if you'll show them map 4. The areas that are still in red are the same areas that are recorded as the hottest in the city, and that's because these areas are considered the heat desert of the city, which this heat is drastic results as well, resulting to the areas being regarded as urban heat islands for businesses and opportunities tend to avoid them as a result to them choosing to be set up in better areas of representation and specifically away from the heat. Liberty, you're good with the maps? Now, to be perfectly clear, I don't think the highway system is itself the root of all the problems in Arizona. All that I'm saying is that it shouldn't be burdened with the weight of the entire city. Instead, I offer that it should work hand in hand with the light rail system. That should be more than something that traps people in a single part of the city to a system that works for all Phoenicians. Special thanks to Maverick for recording and Liberty for putting up our display. Thank you, and good night.